this segment is called What's Good? So this is going to be where I talk about some recommendations, movie-wise, TV-wise, that I highly recommend. And maybe some of you may not know about them. Because I may be talking about some older things that, and maybe we'll talk about it too back in my day. But this is going to be, I think, a more in-depth analysis into some recommendations that I have with hopefully no spoilers. So let's begin. What's good? Well, if you want something my first recommendation is if you want something that's kind of a guilty pleasure, something that you're not sure if you would enjoy or not, there is an older movie from the 1960s. It's actually based on a book, and it's called Gidget. Now, you're probably wondering, Gidget? What? Now, Gidget is girl and midget together. Now, I know midget is kind of a offensive term, but this is something from the 1960s. And so, again, I'm not condoning that language. I'm not condoning that word. That's just what Gidget means. And so this movie is about a 16-year-old girl, really gets into surfing. And if you watch the movie, it really is a guilty pleasure. I promise you. Like, I didn't think I would enjoy it. My mom came across it on one of our movie channels, and she's like, Taylor, you need to watch this movie with me. And I'm like, really? Like, I enjoy older movies. Do not get me wrong. The Sound of Music is always my favorite musical. Older movies have this kind of nostalgic feeling to it. There's so much history, so much change to it. And again, we might talk about it back in my day, but it's there's something about it. And so when watching it, I'm just like, God, this girl, this girl, come on, hunty, what's going on? And there's a few men in there, but there is one in particular, and his name is Moondoggy. And again, you're probably like, what are these names? It's a nickname though. It's a nickname, it's fine. But this whole thing, Gidget, it got like a TV series. The actress is different, and well, all the actors are different from the movie, but Sally Fields is Gidget in the TV series. In the movie, there's 3 different movies. There's Gidget, Gidget Goes Hawaiian, and Gidget Goes to Rome. And all 3 of them have different Gidgets. Like, each one is played by a different actress. And you're just like, oh my gosh. But the first one is probably the best. She's played by Sandra Dee. As if any of you have watched Grease, look at me, I'm Sandra Dee. Now you know kind of where she comes from, what's going on. But anyway, getting off topic. I'm getting on a tangent. But Moondoggy, like the dude who plays Moondoggy, James Darren, he's got a voice like French silk, and it is amazing to hear him sing. Like, again, there's something about older movies, older music, kind of like Frank Sinatra, Gene Kelly. There's just something about it where it really like digs in at you. It seems so pure, so natural. It's very different than today. And I know a lot of, kids don't know about that sort of stuff. They just know Justin Bieber and hit the whoa, But, Moondoggy, James Darren. It's so good. And it's such a guilty pleasure because you're sitting there watching it and you're just like, oh, this girl, obviously she wants this guy, and it's just this big debacle about, are they going to be together? Are they not going to be together? And there's 3 movies on it. There's 3 movies. I haven't even watched the TV show. The movies. Even Gidget Goes Hawaiian is the same way. He still has a voice like French Silk, mind you. And, you know, Gidget's like, oh, he doesn't like me or whatever. And it's just, and then Gidget Goes to Rome is the same thing. He sings a whole song about Gidget called Gigetta. It's Italian for Gidget. And it's still just this back and forth. And you're like, please, for the life of me, just be together. It's such a guilty pleasure how women love The Bachelor and The Bachelorette and any kind of like movie or show, any romantic comedy out there. I highly recommend it. It should be on everyone's list. Mind you, it might be hard to find. I bought all the DVDs from Amazon for like $14 like years ago. But I still watch them to this day. They got me. I don't know how, but they got my soul. They got me. They found something in me where they're like, I know how to target this person. I know how to target these people. And they got me. And they will get you too. But in a good way, I recommend it, channel it, take it in. Honestly, for all the women out there, if you want to hear a natural man sing, like, you know, if you love your Frank Sinatra, Michael Bublé, as sometimes I call him, Gene Kelly, if some of you girls are really into musical theater and you know what I'm talking about, I highly recommend you check out Gidget. And if you want to check out all three and tell me how the television show is, if you decide you want to watch that, I don't know how to find it, but if you watch the movies, literally just watch it for Moondog. Gidget sometimes makes me angry. And I'm like, girl, stop. But I highly recommend. Please watch.